wine growing environment through here. So the majority of the wine that's grown here, probably 3/4 of the grapes, are dedicated to Riesling, which is a very popular wine in Germany. It used to have a bit of a bad reputation for German wines. They used to export all the really gross stuff, very sweet, sickly wines, and that's what everyone thought all German wine tasted like. The true thing was, though, the Germans were keeping the good stuff for themselves. So although you do get some sweet Rieslings, there are some really fine dry Riesling wines that come from this area. But it's not just Riesling, about 50 different grape varieties are produced in this region. Since about 1700, it's actually become quite an important industry for this area as well. So some of the other varieties that are cultivated here, maybe ones you're not familiar with, but they're very well known in Germany. There's a variety called Silvaner, another called Müller-Thurgau, Mühlländer Gewürztraminer. Some of you might know that one, that is a little bit popular. So mostly white wines, but they do produce some red wines in this region as well. Most notably something called a Blauer Portuguesa, which is a bit like a Pinot Noir, and also something called Spätburgunder, which is quite a coveted wine variety actually. It's very nice. So the cultivation of the grapes were well and truly into the season when they either have started or may already have done it. Just looking at those vines, they look pretty empty because you start to get too many cold frosts in the morning, and you don't want to risk the grapes freezing. But they always do leave about 10% of the grapes on the vines because they want to try and produce ice wine. Some of you might be familiar with that. For ice wine, you need the right weather conditions. You need it to drop below about -7 degrees Celsius overnight for a stretch of days, about 8 or 10 days. This enables the grape to freeze. They end up looking almost like raisins, they're so small. And if you have these conditions, then you can harvest the grapes and press them, and then you'll have your ice wine. Ice wine's very sweet. It's usually very expensive as well, because the reason is you need far more grapes to produce the same quantity as ice wine that you would for a normal variety, but that's what happens when the grapes freeze. So ice wines are often for special occasions, maybe an anniversary or something like that. You would have a nice ice wine. Sometimes it's not cold enough. They leave these grapes on the vines and it gets cold and the grapes start to shrink and freeze, but it's not cold enough and they can't actually produce the ice wine. So then they left 10% of the grapes on the vines for nothing. And it's,